JD here, and on the Gold Coast, I had a pretty reasonable reaction from the Facebook Live I put out, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 minutes ago. And I had one guy come back to me and said, JD, you ought to do like Gordon Ramsay, where you walk into someone's business and then basically bag the crap out of them and show them how to fix it. And I thought, yeah, that's not a bad idea. And so therefore I'm just going to give an invitation to you. If you own a business and you would like me to come in with a camera crew, which will probably be 2 guys with a camera, and provide you with a free makeover, which would then become a Facebook Live show. In other words, you've got to have some, I guess, yeah, you've got to be prepared to cop a little bit of criticism. Then yeah, just type below, JD, I'm in, okay, or JD, please give me a Gordon Ramsay makeover. And the reason I'm referring to Gordon Ramsay, I was only watching a few of them yesterday. It's a very funny show, isn't it, where he walks into the restaurants and basically calls them dickheads and all sorts of things, but then he really does provide extraordinary value by telling them how to fix their restaurant. I was just talking to Gail, wasn't I, Gail?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't talk to her very often, but I was talking to her just a moment ago, and I said, look, why don't I just throw this out on Facebook Live? And if you own a business, and online or offline, so it doesn't matter whether you are an online business or offline business, then just type below if you'd like me to do a Gordon Ramsay marketing makeover. And the only reason I'm saying Gordon Ramsay, it's a bit silly for me to say that, isn't it? My name's John Dwyer. But yeah, we'd be happy to draw one out of the hat. Not so much draw out of the hat, I probably would choose one that's going to be interesting. If you've got a boring business and you're boring, then yeah, I'd probably not go to come and see you. But yeah, we'd probably, yeah, maybe more than one, and we'll create a Facebook Live program out of it. Greg, I noticed you're on, you can't do it, all right? You can't. It's not because you're boring, it's just that we've already done your business, for God's sake. And Greg also too, the point is that I must say that I couldn't put you on because you use language like dickhead and things like that. I couldn't have someone on that would use that sort of lingo. But look, if you own a business and you would like a makeover free of charge, which means that I would either look at your website or I would come into your bricks and mortar business, I would have a bit of fun with you, the Gordon Ramsay style fun. Sorry?
And the Facebook ads.
And Gail saying Facebook ads. Do you notice how, even though it's my whole gig, she has to butt in and just be part of it? Could you...
Butt out?
Yeah, butt out, okay. Facebook ads, that was my idea. I was just about to bring that up, by the way. So therefore, look, what we do when a business does join our coaching program, and we have, a private coaching program for a few grand a month, and people come in, they pay us $36K a year, which is about 2/3 of what they're probably paying their receptionist, and we metamorphosize their business. And the first thing I do within 10 working days of meeting them is basically put together a 30-page marketing plan. I'm going to give that to you for free. Okay, so if you want to type below, JD, please do a show on my business, then yeah, you'll be in the chance where we would pick you. We'd come into your business with a camera. I would do the whole Gordon Ramsay thing and interview you, probably insult you. Okay, what's Greg saying? Everyone needs a business makeover. Okay, thanks, Greg. Yeah, they do. But I would come in Gordon Ramsay style with a couple of camera guys, and we would actually critique your business. You can't afford to have any feelings. It'll be all done in good spirit. I mean, I'm not sure that Gordon Ramsay's is a good spirit. I think he actually really,
he does. They do storm out.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So therefore, I won't be quite so nasty. But yeah, all jokes aside, you just have to have a thick skin. But you're going to walk away with something with 30K.
And it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, thank you. You know what? I'm going to take the camera off her because I've never, in all the thousands of years that we've been married, I've never seen her blow wind up my ass before. So what is it? You want something? Are you near a shopping centre?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
We are.
I think she's being complimentary because she wants to open up the wallet. But anyway, so yeah, look, it is a bit of fun. And if you have a business, I don't care what it is. It could be a restaurant, it could be an accountancy practice, it could be a doctor's surgery, it could be a florist.
Maybe they've got a friend that might need it done. So.
Maybe you got a friend. Yeah, good.
You might want to have a friend picked on.
How much contribution is she going to have to this damn thing? How about you just run your own? Okay?
No, I'm not JD.
Okay, right. So goodness, mate. Anyway, so therefore, it's all about me. Bring that camera back here. Okay. Yeah. So therefore, it doesn't matter what business you are. You can be across any sort of industry, and if you're purely and simply online, then what we would probably do there is a split screen. Yeah, Skype or Zoom call. Have you noticed that? I was only saying this to someone yesterday. that Zoom, I think, is the new VHS. Remember there was VHS and Beta, and they were equal, and then all of a sudden VHS just took off. And remember there was MySpace, and then this little thing called Facebook came along, and then MySpace disappeared. I think Skype might have been sitting on their hands over the last few years, and this thing called Zoom has come along. And I think Skype, I'm not saying they're in trouble, but I think they might be yesterday's news soon, because every time I'm having a video meeting with someone these days, they all don't they go, they say, oh, what's your, do it on Zoom.
Yep.
Do it on Zoom. And I'd be, if I was Skype, I'd be a little bit worried, because the N word for all of us funky people, I'm one of them, I'm Groovy Gas Cool. Well, let me just say to you, I'm Groovy Gas Cool, Bombora, hanging the tube there, baby, frat survey. That is how cool I am. I've got the whole little saying down. I think Zoom, it's starting to really take market share. I really do.
Followed by Voxer.
Sorry?
Followed by Voxer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, I've got to say to you, everyone who hangs around me now has to have Voxer. That's Voxer. And every one of the suppliers that I have, art studios or website designers or copywriters, whatever it may be, I force them onto Voxer. And I'll tell you why, is because I'm not all that fussed on people. And so it's a really bit strange, isn't it, when you're in the game of helping people. But anyway, so therefore, when I ring people and they want to have a consultancy call about how to fix the marketing of their business. By the way, just in case you don't know my business, you're probably watching this saying, who is this dickhead with the yellow cap? I run a business called the Institute of Wow. Okay, Greg Mackay says Gail's input's awesome.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, there's a depth.
Thanks, Greg.
There's
Keep it up.
There's a depth to your shallowness, Greg. Yeah. So that every time I ring someone for a consultancy, you've got to go through that whole pain in the ass where they go, oh, what's the weather like on the Gold Coast? It's raining in Melbourne, and I've got a bit of an itch today near my groin area. You go, oh, for God's sake, can we just get onto marketing your business? Thanks for the likes, by the way. And please, whoever's watching this, give more likes, because if you give more likes, that means Facebook's algorithm kicks in and says this guy's engaging. They will throw my video out to more people. I make more money, and I don't have to continue to do this shit. I buy an island, I go live on the island, I don't have to talk to anyone, all right? But getting back to the whole people thing, yeah, so that every damn phone call is taken up with the first 5 minutes talking about the world or talking about their sore knee, like who cares? And so what I do now is that with our suppliers who are the same, oh, hi JD, this is the, website designer or copywriter. Hi JD, how's it like? What have you been doing on the weekend? And let me tell you about my life. I went out this morning, I tripped over in the shopping centre, and I think I'll see West. Look, please, I just want the copy for that website. And so therefore what I've done now is got everyone onto Voxer. If you don't have the app Voxer, download that app Voxer, because it will help you avoid talking to people. It's fantastic, Voxer, and it means that you can just pick up your phone at any time, press the little Voxer app, and then you can just basically talk to someone and send it off to them. It's fantastic. And then guess what? They can Voxer you back with a message. It's just voicemail, that's what it is, but it just happens instantly, and you don't have to waste your time talking about the weather.
And that's how we communicate now.
That's how we communicate? Okay, this is very unusual that we'd be in the car like this talking live to each other, and you think she's joking. You know what, this is how stupid I am. This is how ridiculous. Like when you get onto something that's new, like a skateboard or something, you not that I'm onto that, but you just use it to death, and then the novelty would fall off a bit. But at the moment, even at I'm embarrassed to say this, even at home, right, I'll be in my office, and Gail will be somewhere else in the house, and because obviously it's a 38-room home, based on what is it, Gail, on a beautiful cliff edge overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
And when the 14 maids that we have,
6 crazy kids.
No, they're not all at home. We've got a couple still at home, a 21 and 23-year-old. The rest have left. But anyway, the thing is that somewhere in the house, Gail might be. I'll Voxer her. That is tragic. Isn't that all? I'm embarrassed to be saying this, where I'll just pick up the phone and press the little button. That's how easy it is. Gail, could you tell me blah, 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 whatever it might be, and then and she cannot believe it. She'll walk into the office and go, how lazy are you? Yeah. I said, talk to one of my people, okay? Do not talk to me. I do not want to talk to people. I just Voxer people. So look, do yourself a favour, get onto Voxer, and Sabina, how are you? Sabina, I haven't seen you on before, so welcome. That's terrific. Okay, so therefore, all I ask you to do, if you'd like me to do a Gordon Ramsay insulting, because I'm basically not just a consultant, I'm an insultant, okay? In fact, I did something recently with Jamie Dunn, Agro, okay? You know Agro, the puppet that was on TV all those years ago, and he's a lovely guy, he's a really, really nice guy. We put together a number of these sorts of videos where instead of Gail sitting next to me was Agro, okay? And we basically critiqued a number of businesses, and Agro called ourselves the two insultants, not consultants, but insultants. And I think he's a pretty good partner for me. He's got a similar sort of insulting humour, hasn't he? But anyway, look, once again, if you'd like me to come in and do a Gordon Ramsay, makeover, marketing makeover for your business, free of charge, it's probably be worth, well, I say 30 odd grand because that's what we charge for our private coaching. But because I'm actually going to come in and spend time with you at your business, it would be worth 4.8 billion. I've just done the calculations in my head of what the hourly rate would be. It would be 4.8 billion. And wow, what a prize to win. So all you need to do is type below, JD, I want you to do a marketing makeover or Gordon Ramsay style marketing makeover for my business, and give me your URL, because I'll have to look at your business. Okay, so therefore if you are as boring as shit, there's a good chance you'll never hear from me. But if you've got an interesting business and your sales have flatlined and you'd like to know how to fix them, how to fix your business, how to fix sales, then I might possibly pick you. But you've got to put up with the fact that I will come in with a couple of cameramen, and we will probably spend half a day with you on one occasion, and then come back and do another half a day. I'll tell you how quickly we can fix businesses. There's a restaurant that I talk about often, but it's in Melbourne. He was not filling his restaurant of an evening. He was spending $500,000 on advertising, radio, and all sorts of stupid things. We stopped all of that, so we saved him $500,000 in the first week that he came on board with me. And then what we did is that we just gave every waitress and waiter 50 cents for every name and contact detail that they collected. In other words, data collection for the first time in this restaurant's career. And all it was a little name and address, or name and email and phone number entry form to win dinner for 10 of your friends at the end of the month. That's all it was. It didn't have to be $1 million. It was just win dinner for 10 of your friends at the end of the month. 91% of people around the tables when they were eating were quite happy to fill that form in. Only 9% refused. They picked up thousands and thousands of names, phone numbers and email addresses. And what happens now is that every afternoon at 3 o'clock, the owner of that restaurant asks his PA to come in, and he says to her, how many seats have we got full? And she says, oh, out of the 180 seats in the restaurant, we've got 80 full at the moment, we've got 100 left. He said, well, you better send out one of JD's, that's me, John Dwyer, I get JD. You better send out one of JD's, templated text messages, not email. Email open rates are going down. So she will send out maybe 1,000 to the 90,000 list he has these days. 1,000 text messages will go out and says something like, look, Chef Pierre would like to invite you to come to dinner tonight at the Blump Blump restaurant because we have lobster tail dinner for two for $68. Now, you don't get away from this restaurant before you spend $200. That's about the average spend. Guess what? 10 minutes later, she walks back into his office and says, we're all booked out. 100 seats, bang, like that. I can't click, mate. I can't. Oh, yeah, I could. I was going to actually have to change that because, yeah, that's allowed to click, okay? Isn't that funny when you're right-handed, you can't do anything left-handed? And Greg Mackay, stop that, okay? I know what you're about to say. So anyway, as it turned out, yeah, that is just an instant makeover of a business. He's full, the only restaurant that's full 365 nights a year. Well, 364, he doesn't open Christmas night, but 364 nights a year, because he's collected data, and every afternoon at 3 o'clock he makes a special offer to only a section of that particular database, because he doesn't annoy people now, probably for another 5 or 6 weeks, because he's got such a big database. So he just sends out 1,000 or 500, whatever the numbers are, I don't know what they are, but he sends out a certain number of them, fills his restaurant. If he doesn't, and he's 20 seats short, he just sends out another 100 or 200 text messages. It's pretty easy. He doesn't sponsor the Essendon football team. He doesn't waste money on the back of buses, on the side of buses, the backs of taxis. He does something very, very sensible. Collects data and then milks that data, exploits it. And that's how quickly we changed the restaurant. So you can imagine, for the first month of a few grand that he paid me, he saved $500,000 on all the rubbish he was wasting on radio and newspaper, and he filled his restaurant within a matter of weeks, and then filled that restaurant every night for the rest of his life. You can
imagine what that data is going to be worth when he goes to sell the business.
Yeah, no, a good point. And the reason that Gail's saying this is that we did actually have a business in Sanctuary Cove of the Gold Coast where we convinced them to do this sort of thing. And when he came time to sell the business for $950,000, I think it was, he sold the database for near $100,000. Because can you imagine if you said to the guy that's buying your restaurant, look, not only have you got the figures here of what we're making, but also I will give you 9,800 people and all their contact details that have been frequenting my restaurant, and we've broken them up into their spends, A, B, C, D. This guy spends $100 a week, this guy spends 75, this guy spends 50. Can you imagine? Of course the guy just put his hand in his pocket and put another $100,000 on the table. That database is gold. And yet, guess what? McDonald's today will have 1.7 million people go through their restaurants in Australia, and they have no clue who one of them is. They let that data slip through their fingers like you wouldn't believe. KFC are the same. Bunnings are the same. They don't care who comes into their shop today. They've got no clue who they are. Woolworths and Coles don't have it. I know you might say, look, a few of them have got their VIP clubs. Yeah, sure, but it's around about that much of the total data they could be collecting from people who are coming in today. Michelle's Patisserie, Baker's Delight. I could go on and on and on and on. All of these businesses are letting so much money slip through their fingers because they're not collecting data. What a rant.
And just one last thing.
Oh God, here we go.
And the guy in Sanctuary Cove, what he did, and I presume Lobster Cave has done it, is he segmented that data as well. So he segmented it so that he knows who comes in twice a week, 3 times a week, they spend this amount of money with him, so that he's got a predictable model. He knows what's going on, he knows how much they spend.
Can I just ask you a question, Gail?
Do you want me to leave the car?
Yeah, like whose show is that? Yeah, whose show is it? Who is, like, oh God, it'll be soon the Institute of Gail, not the Institute of Wow.
And everybody will be clapping there.
Yeah, exactly.
2 points for me,
Hang
everyone.
on. Can I want to do one thing. I'm going to bring that hand there and move it around like that, okay? So anyway, yeah, but that is a good point. As much and as sarcastically, I don't want to give Gail too much credit. That is a very good point. You can then segment the data into essentially, revenue segments. So, you know that these people, when they come in, spend $100, these people spend $50 and so forth. So really in the Sanctuary Cove instance, when he sold that database of 9,800, I remember how many people it was, he'd broken them into what their annual value was. So that is just brilliant, because that means whoever's buying the restaurant knows that segment A are worth. For example, we lived at some stage at Sanctuary Cove for a little while. When we first moved up from New South Wales, we lived there and just for 12 months until we built our home on some acreage, and got kicked out because we had 6 kids. And we didn't get kicked out, but we nearly got kicked out because a couple of our kids at the time were near sort of 17, 18 years of age, and when you rent anywhere in Sanctuary Cove, we rented because we were building our own home on acreage, and one of them, Greg, I think, was 17, and so he was just at that age where they're a little bit silly. He got brought home a few times within Sanctuary Cove by security because he had taken the golf buggy, which comes with any of the homes in Sanctuary Cove, and he'd had a few drinks with his mates and had been through some garden beds that were in the middle of the road. Those roundabout garden beds in the middle of the road. Well, yeah, he'd gone straight through them, doing a massive 6 kilometres an hour, of course, so we've done a lot of damage. Anyway, so I think we were going to be kicked out of Sanctuary Cove. It was the Von Trapp family invades Sanctuary Cove, which is not a good idea when you've got 6 kids. But anyway, so look, if you are not collecting data, please do it. But let's get back to why this all kicked off. I had someone suggest to me, why don't you do a Gordon Ramsay style makeover of someone's business, going with a camera, do all that sort of stuff. And if you're online, that would be split screen interviews and all that, so therefore, we wouldn't be coming to your business. But yeah, type below, JD, I want a Gordon Ramsay style wow makeover of my business, and I'll put you the draw. This is for a free makeover, but you have to have thick skin because we'll come in with a camera and I'm likely to insult you. Okay, but for good reason. Right, over and out, guys. Have a good weekend. Oh, by the way, if you want to hear more of this direct response stuff and you're interested in employing some of this direct response measurable marketing in your business with a bit of wow factor on top, then just go to the link that I've got on top of here, which is a 60-minute webinar, and it's called wowmysales.com, and you can watch to your heart's content a whole bunch of this good stuff. Okay, over and out, guys, and okay, say goodbye, Gail. Yeah, bloody superstar, Gail.